It starts with a single grainy clip, a trembling camera, a quiet room, and Dayton's voice whispering, "You lied to me, Mom. You lied about everything." Hours later, that clip will shatter the courtroom, ignite Kody's fury, and expose a secret Robyn spent years trying to bury. And all of it begins with Dayton vanishing into the night at 2:17 a.m. What do you think pushed Dayton over the edge that night? Tell me in the comments below. I'm reading everything. The night is silent on the Brown property. The kind of silence that feels staged, like the world is holding its breath. The camera doesn't see it, but the moon hangs lower than usual, casting a cold, blue glow over the gravel driveway. Most people are asleep. Most people have no idea that their entire family history is being rewritten right under their noses. But the house where Robyn lives is different tonight. There's something leaning in the air, something sharp, like the crackle of static before lightning strikes. Inside, a single bedroom light flickers on. It's Dayton's room. He moves fast, quietly, with the kind of urgency that doesn't come from fear, but from clarity. His hands shake as he stuffs a laptop charger, a folded map, and a wallet into his backpack. He tries not to breathe too loudly. The floorboards are old, unforgiving, always ready to betray anyone walking across them. But he steps lightly, choosing the boards he memorized years ago. The boards that don't creak. His eyes lift to the digital clock on his nightstand. 2:17 a.m. He hesitates. Just for a moment, not because he doubts what he's doing, but because once he steps out that door, nothing will ever be the same again. He pulls a small flash drive from his pocket. A plain black USB, the kind you can buy at any gas station. But this one isn't ordinary. This one is loaded with the one conversation he never wanted anyone to hear. The one where Robyn finally admitted what she kept hidden about David Jessop. He stares at it as if it's alive. This is the evidence. This is the truth. This is the thing that destroyed his trust. He slips it into the backpack. He takes one more breath. Then he unlocks the window instead of the door. He slides it open. Cold night air rushes in like a warning. He swings one leg out, then the other. And silently, too silently, he disappears into the night. The truth doesn't walk. It escapes in the dark, quietly, before anyone can stop it. Hours later, in the same house, Robyn jolts awake. She doesn't know why, not at first. Maybe it's a mother's instinct. Maybe it's fear. Maybe she already knows something is wrong. She listens. There's no sound from Dayton's room. No typing, no rustling, no pacing, nothing. She rises from the bed, wraps a blanket around her, and walks down the hallway. She taps on his door. Nothing. She taps again. Harder. Still nothing. A tightness forms in her throat as she turns the knob and pushes the door open. The room looks untouched. Clean, organized, neat. Too neat. The bed is made. The lights are off. His backpack is gone. His hoodie is missing from the hook, and the window is open. Cold air sweeps into the room like a thief. Robyn's voice trembles as she whispers his name. Dayton. No answer. She rushes to the window and looks outside. The gravel driveway is empty. The car is still there. But Dayton is nowhere. Panic surges through her. A fear she hasn't felt since the early days, when everything between her and David was unraveling. She fumbles for her phone. Her hands shake as she dials Kody. He answers groggy, half asleep. Robyn? What? Dayton is gone, she whispers, breathless. Kody sits up immediately. What do you mean, gone? He left. I don't know how long he's been gone. The window, his things, Kody, he's not here. There's silence on the line. A heavy silence, the kind that comes before an eruption. Then Kody explodes. Why wasn't his door locked? Why weren't you watching him? How do you not know where your own son... He's not a child, she snaps, her voice cracking. And I didn't think It's not like that anymore. He's been distant. He's been angry. The words stop. Because she knows exactly why he's been angry. And she knows now, in the pit of her stomach, that he found something. Something she never wanted him to find. While chaos brews in the Brown household, Miles away on the other side of the city, a postal sorting machine chokes on an unmarked envelope. There's no return address, only one line. For Meri. Private, do not open in front of anyone. It gets tossed into a bin, shuffled into a pile, and forgotten for hours. But by noon, a mail carrier picks it up and drops it onto Meri's porch as if it's nothing more than a utility bill. Meri doesn't open it right away. She notices the handwriting. She notices the weight. She notices the slight rattle inside. She sets it aside, assuming it's some fan-made nonsense. She has no idea that the envelope contains the USB that will burn down what's left of the Brown Empire. Secrets don't hide, they wait. And when they resurface, they hit harder than ever. Back at Robyn's house, Kody storms through the front door like a hurricane. His hair is wild, his face red, his breath sharp. Where is he? What happened? Why didn't you? Kody, stop, Robyn says, wiping tears from her face. Please, just stop yelling. But yelling is all Kody knows how to do when he's scared. He tears apart Dayton's room, searching for any clue. He pulls drawers out, slams closet doors, opens his laptop, and tries to guess the password. Nothing. No message, no note, no explanation, just absence. Robyn sinks onto the bed, hands over her face, sobbing. He's so angry at me, Kody. I know he is. Something changed weeks ago. He kept asking about David. Kody freezes, his face strained of color. His voice turns low and dangerous. What do you mean? Asking about David. Robyn doesn't answer. Kody steps closer. Robyn, what did you tell him? She shakes her head. I didn't tell him anything. That's the problem. The silence between them sharpens like glass. Outside, a police siren echoes in the distance, faint, fading, as if signaling the start of something irreversible. Meanwhile, Meri finally picks up the envelope again. She tears the edge open. Inside is the small black USB and a single piece of paper that reads, "You deserve to know the truth. Show this in court. He recorded everything." Meri stiffens. Her pulse quickens. She plugs the USB into her laptop. The screen flashes. A video file appears. She clicks it, and the footage begins. Dayton, standing in the kitchen, tears in his eyes, voice shaking as he tells Robyn, "You hid the truth about David Jessop. You lied to me. You lied about everything." The camera shifts. Robyn reaches for him, panicked. No, Dayton, please." But Dayton steps back, furious. And then he says something that freezes Meri's blood. "I already talked to David. He told me what you did." And that's the moment the entire Brown world begins to crack. Meri covers her mouth in shock. Her whole body goes cold. She replays the last sentence again and again. The video ends with Dayton storming out the door. Her hands tremble as she whispers, "Oh my God, this changes everything." She stares at the USB, then at her phone, then at the courtroom subpoena still sitting on her table. She knows what she has to do. She knows what this will expose. But she also knows, once this tape appears in court, there is no going back. Nothing can prepare the Browns for what Dayton recorded next. The truth he captured isn't just damaging, it's explosive. Meri sits frozen in her living room, the glow of the laptop screen reflecting off her eyes like a haunting mirror. The last frame of the video freezes on Dayton's angry, trembling face, his hand gripping the doorframe, his jaw clenched, his eyes full of betrayal. The room around Meri feels too quiet, too still, as if the air itself is holding its breath. She plays the clip again and again. Each replay unravels another thread in the carefully woven story Robyn built for years. Meri leans back in her chair, staring at the ceiling, trying to process the weight of what she just witnessed. This isn't just family drama. This is evidence. This is intent. This is a young man tearing open secrets that were buried beneath years of excuses and carefully crafted narratives. She pulls the USB from the laptop and holds it tightly in her palm. It feels heavier now. Heavier than plastic, heavier than memory, heavier than guilt. Outside, the late morning sun is bright. too bright, mocking how dark everything feels inside. Meri stands up, pacing the length of the room. Her breathing quickens. She knows she can't keep this to herself. Not anymore. The court hearing is tomorrow. And this is the kind of thing that can shift the entire case. She grabs her keys, slips the USB into her purse, and heads out the door with a determined stride. But across town, the Brown household is unraveling. Robyn sits at the dining table, clutching Dayton's pillow like she's trying to hold on to something that's already gone. Her eyes are swollen from crying. Her hair is messy, her breathing uneven. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. And maybe she hasn't. Not really. Not since the moment Dayton first asked about David Jessop. Kody paces the floor in front of her, his boots thudding against the wood. He's livid. Not the loud, reckless anger he usually shows. This is controlled, calculating, the kind of anger that burns slower but hotter. "When were you going to tell me?" he asks, voice low. Robyn doesn't answer. "When, Robyn?" he repeats, stepping closer. "When were you going to tell me that our son, my son, reached out to David behind our backs?" "He didn't tell me," she whispers. "And why do you think that is?" Kody snaps. "Why would he feel like he had to hide something like that from you?" Robyn's lips tremble. Because I didn't give him a choice." Kody stops pacing. He stares at her. "What does that mean?" he asks, his voice suddenly sharp. Robyn wipes her cheeks with the edge of her sleeve. "He found the letters," she says quietly. "The ones I kept in the safe." The room seems to freeze. Even the air stops moving. Kody's jaw tightens, his eyes narrowing. "You told me you destroyed those," he says slowly. "I know," she whispers. "I know what I said." The anger flares in his face again, red and fierce. "You lied to me. You lied to him. You told us David never tried to reach out. You told us he didn't want anything to do with Dayton. I was protecting him." Robyn cries, voice breaking. "I was protecting Dayton from a man who—" "You were protecting yourself," Kody cuts her off. "This is about you, your image, your story, your need to be the victim every single time something goes wrong." Robyn gasps like she's been slapped. "Kody, how can you say that?" "Because it's true," he fires back. "You kept those letters for a reason. Not to protect Dayton, to protect your control over him. Over all of us, you hide things. You always have." He steps closer, lowering his voice. "And now it's blowing up in your face." Robyn feels the floor tilt under her. She wants to deny it, to scream, to insist she did it for the right reasons, but she can't. Because, deep down, she knows exactly why she hid those letters. And it wasn't for Dayton. It was because the truth wasn't convenient. The most dangerous secrets are the ones someone convinces themselves were for the best. Across town, Meri drives with the USB clutched in one hand like it might disappear if she lets go. Her mind is racing. She thinks about all the years she spent trying to keep peace, trying to hold the family together, trying to be supportive, even when she wanted to scream. And now she's done being silent. When she stops at a red light, she looks at her reflection in the car window. She barely recognizes herself, not in a bad way, but in a liberated way. Like she's finally stepping into the version of herself she should have been years ago. Her phone buzzes. "Christine?" Meri hesitates. Then she answers. "Meri." Christine's voice is shaky, urgent. "Are you okay? You sound different." "I need to see you," Meri says. "I figured." Christine exhales. "Heard about Dayton disappearing. Janelle called me. She's worried sick." "It's worse than that," Meri says quietly. "Much worse." Christine pauses. "How much worse?" Meri glances at the USB in her lap. "I can't tell you over the phone. Just meet me at the courthouse cafe." Christine doesn't ask questions. "I'm on my way." Meanwhile, back at Robyn's house, she collapses into a chair, clutching her stomach as if the truth itself is physically hurting her. Kody stands over her, shaking his head. His voice softens, but not with sympathy, with exhaustion. What are we going to tell the police? He mutters. Robyn looks up, startled. The police? You think the police need to... He's missing, Robyn? He's an adult, yes, but he left in the middle of the night. No note, no call, no contact. This isn't normal? Robyn's eyes widen with fear. If the police find him, they'll ask him questions. They'll ask why he left. They'll ask what he found. They'll ask what I didn't tell him. That's not my problem, Kody mutters. You created this mess. You fix it. Kody, she cries. Please. Please don't leave me alone with this. But he's already walking toward the door. I'm going to look for him, he says. And if I find out you lied about anything else? He stops, turns back, and points at her. There will be consequences, real ones. The door slams shut. Robyn breaks. She doubles over, sobbing into her hands, shaking uncontrollably. For the first time, she realizes she isn't just losing control. She's losing her family. She's losing her son. She's losing the narrative she manipulated so carefully for years. And she has no idea how far Dayton has already gone. Sometimes the truth doesn't destroy you all at once. It eats you slowly, piece by piece, until there's nothing left to hide behind. At the courthouse cafe, Meri sits at a corner table, tapping her fingers nervously. Christine bursts in moments later, scanning the room until she sees her. She rushes over, sits down, and grabs Meri's hands. What's going on? Christine asks. Is Dayton okay? Did someone find him? Meri slowly places the USB on the table. Christine stares at it. What is that? Meri, she whispers. What's on it? You need to see this, Meri says. She pulls out her laptop, plugs the USB in, and opens the video. Christine leans in, eyes narrowing, as the footage begins. Dayton appears on screen, trembling, furious, hurt in a way that shakes the room. Christine covers her mouth. Oh my God. They watch together as Dayton argues with Robyn. As he accuses her of lying. As he reveals he spoke to David Jessop. As he storms out, Christine's eyes flood with tears. He's breaking. He's completely shattered. Meri nods. And he doesn't trust anyone anymore. Christine wipes her face. This is going to destroy Robyn in court, completely. That's why it needs to be shown, Meri says quietly. Christine sits back, absorbing everything. The cafe noise around them fades, as if they're sitting in a vacuum of truth and betrayal. Meri, Christine whispers. Where did this come from? It was mailed to me, Meri says. No name, no return address, just instructions to show it in court. Christine leans back slowly. Someone knew exactly what this would do? Meri nods. Someone wanted the truth out. Before they can say another word, the cafe door opens again. Janelle walks in, her eyes scanning until she sees them. But she doesn't look calm. She looks rattled. She rushes over. You two need to hear this, Janelle says breathlessly. I just got a call from one of Kody's friends. Meri and Christine tense. What happened? Meri asks. Janelle swallows hard. They found something near the highway, she says. Christine's heart stops. Something? What do you mean? Janelle looks between them. It belongs to Dayton, she whispers. And they're saying it doesn't look good. The courthouse cafe suddenly feels too small, too crowded, too loud. Janelle's words hang in the air like a fog no one can breathe through. Something was found near the highway, something that belongs to Dayton, and it doesn't look good. Meri's heart drops into her stomach. Christine grips the edge of the table so tightly, her knuckles turn white. Janelle looks shaken, not just worried, but genuinely frightened in a way that makes the other two women freeze. What exactly did they find? Meri asks, her voice barely audible. Janelle lowers her eyes, swallowing hard. A backpack. Christine's breath catches. His backpack? Janelle nods. But that's not all. Meri steadies herself, already bracing. Janelle continues. The side pocket was ripped open, like someone grabbed it. Hard. Christine covers her mouth. Oh God. Oh no. They also found tire tracks, Janelle adds, her voice trembling. Deep ones. Fresh. Meri feels the room tilt under her feet. The USB inside her purse suddenly feels even heavier, like it's pulling her down with the weight of everything it represents. The secrets, the lies, the dangerous truth that Dayton uncovered. Was there blood? Meri whispers. Janelle shakes her head quickly. No, no blood. But the sheriff said the scene. It looked bad. Not violent, just like he was taken off guard. Christine blinks fast, trying to stay grounded. Taken off guard? You mean like someone grabbed him? Like someone was waiting for him? We don't know. Janelle wrings her hands. They're still searching the area. Meri pushes her chair back and stands abruptly. We need to go, right now. Christine rises too. Yes, let's go. We're not sitting here while Dayton. But Janelle lifts a hand, stopping them. There's something else. The tone in her voice shifts, from fear to something more unsettling. The sudden heaviness in the air signals the story is about to twist again. Meri slowly sits back down. Christine follows suit, eyes locked on Janelle. What else? Meri asks. Janelle glances at the customers around them, then leans in so close the three of them are nearly touching foreheads. They found a piece of paper inside the backpack. What kind of paper? Christine asks. Janelle hesitates, then whispers, a printed email. Meri's eyes widen. An email? From who? Janelle lowers her voice even more. From David Jessop. None of them speak. It's as if the world pauses, just for a moment, stunned by the weight of those words. He emailed Dayton back, Janelle whispers. And the message? It wasn't angry. It wasn't hostile. It was scared. The silence deepens. Scared of what? Christine asks. Janelle takes a breath. Of someone else. Someone watching him. Someone pressuring him not to talk. Christine feels a chill slide through her spine. Do you mean Robyn? I don't know, Janelle says quickly. It didn't say her name, but it hinted at someone in the family. Someone who didn't want Dayton digging. Meri closes her eyes briefly, letting the pieces fall into place like shards of broken glass. Robyn hiding letters. Robyn lying about contact. Robyn panicking when Dayton asks questions. Robyn begging Kody not to involve the police. And now David trying to warn Dayton. Sometimes the most dangerous truth is the one someone else is trying the hardest to bury. Across town, Robyn stands in the doorway of Dayton's room, staring at the empty space where his backpack once was. Her fingers clutch the frame so tightly, her knuckles turn white. She's shaking, not from cold, but from dread. Her phone vibrates in her hand. It's a text. Unknown number. No name. She opens it. You shouldn't have lied. He came to me for the truth. And I told him. DJ Robyn's entire body goes numb. David Jessop. The man she spent years blaming, dismissing, erasing. She sinks to the floor, sliding down the wall until she's curled into herself, gasping for air. Her mind races through all the things she hid. From Dayton, from Kody, from everyone. All the letters she claimed she lost. All the calls she said never happened. All the times she painted herself as the victim without ever acknowledging the cracks in her story. And now the truth is crawling out of the cracks like smoke from an old fire. She presses a shaking hand over her mouth. Please don't let him say more. Her phone buzzes again. Another message. He deserved to know. You can't stop this anymore. She drops the phone like it's burning her. She tries to scream, but the sound lodges in her throat. She scrambles to her feet and rushes to the kitchen sink, splashing water on her face and gripping the counter so hard her fingers ache. Her hands tremble uncontrollably. Because she realizes something horrifying. Dayton didn't run away. Dayton ran toward the truth. And someone else might have followed him. Back at the cafe, the women rush to gather their things. But Christine stops suddenly, her eyes narrowing with a realization. Wait, she says. If there was a printed email, does that mean Dayton planned to save it? To show someone? Yes, Janelle says. He must have printed it himself. Meri's voice drops, which means he wasn't running away spontaneously. He was preparing something. Christine nods, her mind already connecting the dots. He wasn't running away. He was going to meet someone who could help him. Janelle wipes her face. The sheriff said the tire tracks didn't match any local cars. They said the pattern looked like a rental vehicle. Meri frowns. A rental? Why would someone use a rental car unless... Christine finishes the sentence. Unless they didn't want to be traced. All three women freeze. The sudden shift in the air is palpable. Dark, heavy, threatening. Sometimes danger doesn't come from enemies. It comes from the people who know the family best. Just as Christine reaches for her coat, Meri's phone buzzes. She doesn't check it right away. She's too focused, too determined. But the phone buzzes again and again, rapidly. Finally, she pulls it out. The screen lights up. 3 new messages, unknown number. She opens the first. You showed the video. Her stomach twists. She opens the second. You shouldn't have done that. A cold chill floods her. She opens the third. Now you've put him in danger. Meri's hands begin to shake uncontrollably. Christine leans in. What? What is it? Meri turns the screen toward them. The messages glow back at them like warnings etched in fire. Janelle steps back. Is that a threat? Christine exhales sharply. Someone knows about the USB. Meri's voice cracks. Someone knows I watched it. Janelle whispers, Meri, who has your number? But the answer is too obvious, too painful, too dangerous to say out loud. Robyn. Christine gathers her breath. We need to get to the highway site, now. They rush outside, the cold air slamming into them like a wall. As they reach Meri's car, Christine grabs her arm and steadies her. Listen to me, Christine says. No matter what we find, we're not backing down. Dayton reached out to David because he was desperate. He was scared. He was drowning in secrets no one would tell him. Meri nods, fighting tears. And now, Christine continues, someone else knows he was close to exposing everything. Janelle wipes her face and climbs in. Let's go. The car speeds down the road toward the highway. Their hearts race. Their minds spin. Their fear mounts with every passing mile. The sun begins to set behind them, turning the sky a violent shade of orange, the kind of color that signals something is coming. Something big, something irreversible. When they reach the search site, police cars line the shoulder. Officers walk the grass with flashlights. A drone hovers overhead, scanning. Meri, Christine, and Janelle climb out slowly. An officer approaches. Are you family? Yes, Meri says. The officer looks troubled. You need to see this. He leads them around a cluster of trees, stopping near a patch of disturbed dirt. There, half buried under leaves and broken branches, lies Dayton's phone. The screen is shattered, the casing dented, the back smeared with dirt, and what looks like a handprint. Christine gasps and grabs Meri's arm. Meri covers her mouth. Janelle shakes her head in disbelief. No. The officer lowers his voice. It looks like he dropped it during a struggle. The world tilts. The sky blurs. Everything freezes. Christine forces herself to breathe. Was there anything else? The officer nods. Yes. Something recorded. What? Meri whispers. The officer pulls out a small evidence bag. Inside it is a second cracked device, a tiny cheap body cam. We're not sure whose it is, the officer says. But the red light was still blinking when we found it. Meri's heart slams against her ribs. Christine leans forward, eyes wide. Janelle's knees nearly buckle. What was it recording? Christine asks, her voice trembling. The officer takes a breath. We haven't opened the footage yet. It's locked with a code. Meri whispers almost to herself. Dayton wouldn't have a body cam. But someone following him might... She stops, because the implication hits all of them at the same time. If the body cam was recording, and if someone was following Dayton, and if that device survived the struggle, then everything Dayton saw, everything he knew, everything that happened to him, might be captured on that camera. The officer hands the bag to a tech specialist nearby, who nods and walks toward a police van. Christine grips Meri's arm. Janelle whispers, "If we can unlock it." They all watch as the tech connects the device to a laptop. He types the first guess. Wrong. Second. Wrong. Third. The screen suddenly flickers. Lines of code scroll. The camera file appears. The tech double-clicks. A video window opens. The women hold their breath. The screen is black. Then blurry. Then bright white. Then slowly, painfully, a figure appears. Walking, cautious, breathing hard. Looking over their shoulder. It's Dayton. But behind him, a second figure emerges from the darkness. And the moment the camera catches their face, the tech freezes, eyes widening in shock. He turns slowly toward the women. You're not going to believe who this is. Morning in the courthouse feels different today. Heavier, quieter. Like everyone inside can already sense that what's coming will change everything. Not just for the Browns, but for Dayton himself. The camera would open on the courthouse hallway. Buzzing lights, quiet murmurs, reporters adjusting equipment, the air thick with the anticipation of something explosive. Because today, Dayton is supposed to speak. No one knows how long he'll stay in the room. They don't know if he'll break down. They don't even know if he'll defend Robyn or expose her. They only know that the boy who vanished at 2:17 a.m. is finally stepping into the spotlight. And when he walks through the double doors, the entire hallway falls into total silence. He looks pale, tired, hollow-eyed in the way that only someone who hasn't slept in days can look. His hands are tucked into the sleeves of his sweatshirt, like he's trying to hide a tremble. He keeps his head down as he enters, but his presence pulls every gaze like gravity. Kody's jaw tightens. Robyn bursts into tears instantly, almost on cue. Meri watches him with a kind of gentle sadness. And Christine? She stands, just for a second, out of respect. Dayton avoids all their eyes. He walks straight to the front. The judge adjusts his glasses, reading through the paperwork. Mr. Brown, you've requested to make a statement regarding the events of the night you left your home and the communications you had with Mr. David Jessop. You are under oath. Are you prepared to proceed? Dayton's voice cracks on the first word. Yes. And when he says it, something inside the room shifts. Because this isn't a boy speaking. This is someone who has been carrying a secret so heavy, so quietly, for so long, he's finally reached the breaking point. And what Dayton says next will shatter Robyn's entire narrative and expose the one truth she prayed would never leave the walls of their home. Dayton takes a slow breath, steadying himself. He stares at the microphone on the stand like it's something dangerous, but also like it's the only thing that can save him. I didn't run away, he begins softly. I left because I couldn't breathe. Kody shifts in his seat, his arms crossed tightly, defensive, impatient. But he stays quiet. Dayton continues. For years, I believed everything my mom told me about David Jessop. That he didn't want me, that he didn't care, that he was dangerous, that I was better off never knowing anything about him. Robyn's cry turns sharp. Dayton, please. The judge raises a hand. Mrs. Brown, you will remain silent. Robyn sinks back, shaking. Dayton keeps going. But things never added up. There were always gaps, questions, missing pieces. When I got older, I started checking public records online. Adoption documents, court filings, things I wasn't supposed to see. A ripple moves through the courtroom. Dayton swallows hard. His voice trembles, but he doesn't stop. And then I found something. Something that didn't match what I was told. A timeline. He tightens his hands. A letter my mom said David never sent. But it turns out he sent several. And someone intercepted them. Robyn's breath catches. Kody leans forward. Christine's eyebrows shoot up. And the night I confronted her about it, Dayton says, was the night you saw on the USB? The judge nods. Explain what happened. Dayton closes his eyes for a second, reliving it. A flashback. We see him standing in Robyn's room, not angry, devastated, holding a printed copy of a letter, one signed by David Jessop, a letter he wasn't supposed to have. "Why did you hide this?" he had asked, his voice breaking, begging for an honest answer. Robyn had frozen. Her mouth opened, then shut. Then opened again, trembling. "Because he didn't deserve you," she whispered. "It was my job to protect you from the pain he caused." But Dayton didn't scream, didn't fight. He simply stood there, tears slipping down his face. "You didn't protect me," he had said. "You erased half of who I am." And in that one line, the truth slices deeper than any accusation could. Back in the present, Dayton's hands shake as he continues. "I didn't leave because I was angry. I left because after that fight, I realized that everything I knew could be a lie. And there was only one person who could tell me the truth." The judge leans forward. "And that person was David Jessop?" Dayton nods once. "Yes." A gasp moves through the benches. Kody mutters under his breath, "Unbelievable." Robyn covers her mouth. Her shoulders tremble uncontrollably. Dayton doesn't look at either of them. "I messaged him weeks before I left," he says. "I didn't want to upset anyone. I just wanted answers." "And did he respond?" the judge asks. Dayton hesitates, then nods. "Yes, he did." The room locks into a paralyzed silence. Meri briefly closes her eyes. Christine looks stunned. Even the court clerks pause their typing. The judge clears his throat. "And what did he say to you?" Dayton's voice breaks. "He said, he never rejected me." A loud thud. Kody slamming his fist against the table. Robyn starts sobbing uncontrollably. And Dayton? Dayton looks like each word costs him a piece of his soul. "He told me," Dayton continues, "that he tried to stay involved. He tried to send letters. He tried to call. He tried to be part of my life." Tears roll down his face, but he wipes them quickly, almost embarrassed. "He told me he never gave up on me. That someone just made sure everything he sent never reached me." The judge glances sharply at Robyn. She visibly wilts under the weight of the accusation. "And he apologized," Dayton whispers. "He apologized for something he didn't even do. He thought I hated him because I believed the story I was told." A painful silence hangs in the room. Christine wipes a tear from her cheek. Janelle looks heartbroken. Even Meri, who's seen a lot of heartbreak in this family, looks deeply moved. Dayton continues. "When we talked online, he told me he wanted to meet me, only if I was comfortable." His voice softens. "And for the first time in my life, I felt like I wasn't unwanted." Robyn sobs harder. The sound echoes. Kody shakes his head, furious. "This is ridiculous." The judge shuts him down instantly. "Mr. Brown, one more outburst and you'll be removed." Kody grinds his teeth but stays silent. The judge turns back to Dayton. "And this led to your departure at 2:17 a.m.? Dayton nods. "Yes, because my mom told me that contacting him was disrespecting the family, that it was betrayal." He swallows hard. "So I left. To keep the peace. To get clarity. To find out if everything I believed was wrong." "And was it?" the judge asks gently. Dayton looks down. "My entire childhood," he whispers, "was built on someone else's version of the truth." And in that moment, the courtroom finally understands. This isn't just a story about escape. It's a story about identity stolen, rewritten, and reclaimed. The judge leans back. "Is there more you wish to present?" Dayton hesitates. His eyes flick toward Robyn, then away. "Yes. There's one more thing." Robyn stops crying instantly. Kody's head whips around. The entire room freezes. "What is it, Mr. Brown?" the judge asks. Dayton takes a slow, shaky breath. "When I met David," he begins. A collective gasp. "You met him in person?" the judge asks. Dayton nods. "Yes, and he didn't come empty-handed." The judge raises a brow. "What did he bring?" Dayton's voice is barely audible. "He gave me an envelope. The tension spikes. Every heartbeat in the room becomes a countdown. "And what was inside?" the judge asks. Dayton looks up, and for the first time all day, there's anger in his eyes. His voice cracks like thunder. Proof that my entire adoption story is not what my mother claimed. Robyn lets out a strangled sob. Kody's face drains of color. Christine's jaw drops. "And that envelope," Dayton says, "is with the court right now." The judge's eyes widen. "You submitted it?" Dayton nods. "It contains letters, documents, and a statement from David that contradicts everything." The judge signals the clerk. People lean forward in their seats. Robyn clutches her chest like she's about to collapse. And just as the envelope is placed onto the judge's desk, Dayton whispers, "It's time everyone knows the real truth." The judge slowly begins to peel the envelope open.